All right, we've got the spinny circle is back, and so are we with another money move. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Wendy, as always, it's great to see you here. And March is flying by. So we're almost a week into March. So I'm ready for spring now. Ready for spring, ready for baseball. And I usually cut my grass right around St. Patty's Day. So that's coming up, for the first time of the year. So I'm excited about that because I love spending time out in the yard. Get a little sun, which I need because I'm coming out of my winter months, my winter hibernation. But you're a big baseball fan too, though, right? Your son plays, right?
Yeah, like I crave baseball season. I love it. I love being out in the heat. I love packing up, spending the whole day at the ball fields.
Yep.
Yeah.
Travel ball.
It's coming. Riggs playing middle school baseball, and then travel ball's starting too. So
yeah, we've got an exciting year. Hopefully, we do some serious stuff. So we've got the talent to go to state. We'll see if it actually happens. But that's baseball, though. A lot of different factors play into it. So. Mm-hmm. But we're not here to talk about baseball. We're actually here to kind of a second part on what we talked about last week. Last week we were talking about how much money you should save. This week we're talking about how much money should you plan to spend, right? And so we're going to talk about that and kind of plan it out. The traditional market versus how you and I look at it and how we teach it is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. So we're actually going to kind of focus on that and actually run some numbers. So do me a favor, if you've got some friends or whatever that are kind of looking at, hey, retirement, this is what my plans are, something like that. Reach out to them. Don't forget to click the subscribe button next to the share button. But let them know blackswanmoney.com. We're getting ready to get started, and we're going to talk about how much money you can comfortably spend in your retirement years. All right, we're back. What do you think you can spend, Wendy? How much do you think you can spend in retirement?
As much as I want.
Boom. Making it rain up in here. Yo, my name's Marty, and I came to party. I'm here at the Waffle House with my
like when I think about retirement years, like I think I'll always have income coming in, right? Like I plan to set my life up that way, that there's always multiple streams of income coming in. But I'm not the person that wants to sit on the front porch, rocking chair and like snooze my retirement years away. Like I want to travel. I want to be active. I want to be at all my grandkids' events. I want to, I just want to have fun. I want to live it up. I had kids young. I started having babies at right before my 21st birthday. And so like my retirement years, right? I'm done with all that. I want to go enjoy my life. So,
well, and that's kind of the reality of it, right? I mean, everybody wants to do the exact same thing. And if they tell you they don't, that means they don't have enough money saved up. So they're trying to downplay it, right? No. That's BS. If you could afford to go see the world, everybody would. The problem is they don't because they can't. Because they didn't stack cash when they were supposed to, right? And that's not necessarily all their fault. There may have been some things happen, bad advice, this, that, or the other. But a lot of it, unfortunately, falls to that YOLO lifestyle that we were talking about, last week, where, people are living for today and not worrying about tomorrow. They think they've got a lot of time. So, you look at that, and let's look at it from the traditional sense. And I guess before we even start there, we need to look at that word you used. I like to use the word wealth. But you mentioned the word retirement. A lot of people think about, hey, let's plan for retirement. Let's save for retirement. Well, what the hell is retirement? It's different for everybody. And I'm going to tell you 90%, maybe even 95% of the people that are watching this video right now, you will need to have other income in retirement. There is no stopping and not working at all. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show you the numbers to show you what I mean. Okay. So, and it's super simple, folks. Again, if your advisor or whatever is talking over your head or talking at you rather than with you, they're playing the shell game. Okay. Because this stuff is super simple and I'm going to break it down for you today. So you look at, I think you said your parents last week, you were talking about $1 million or $1.5 million or something like that, right?
Yeah, they wanted $1 million in retirement. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. And that I remember that when I was a kid, I was thinking, man, I'm a millionaire, right? I remember when I was a kid reading my Richie Rich comic books, and he had his little mechanical robot maid. I think her name was, I don't remember what her name was, but anyway, what is it?
No, I don't remember, but I remember that.
Yeah, that was my favorite comic. Why? Because I was a super poor kid, so that was my escape. Richie and his cousin Reggie was a jerk, and stuff like that. Comment below if you remember that magazine. And his dog Dollar, right? There was a Dalmatian that had dollar signs on it or whatever. So I used to think, man, a millionaire. And back in the day, that used to be a lot of money, right? If you were a millionaire, that was a lot of money. It ain't that way today, folks. $1 million is not a lot of money. Not to mention, the traditional market will tell you need to spend, if you don't want to outlive your money, you need to spend 3.75% is the new number. It's not 4% anymore. It's actually lower than that now. 3.75% is the new retirement number where you can comfortably spend your money and not worrying about outliving your money. 3.75%. Okay, well, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Let's do the math. That 4-letter word that jacks with your retirement years, right? So we all agree we want to travel and we want to do stuff. And I'm going to tell you, retirement, that the gurus out there, and you know who I'm talking about, your retirement years, you'll need less money and stuff. That's BS. Because retirement is exactly like Wendy just laid it out. Every day is a Saturday.
Yeah.
Most expensive day of the week.
Yeah.
Right? So where do you want to go, Wendy? Where's the first place in retirement that you're going to go see and spend a couple weeks there?
France.
France. Last time I checked, it wasn't cheap to go to France. It wasn't free. You got to have room and board while you're there. You can save a few bucks by Airbnb, maybe. Eat, go outside of Paris or whatever and save some money there. But you're still going to spend money. And then you got to get back and all that stuff. You still got your bills because your bills here don't stop coming in too. Well, John, I'll have my car paid off, my house free and clear, and this and the other. And you should target your house to have it free and clear your retirement year. Okay. Not before. Don't pay off a low rate mortgage early because the guru told you to. That is silly unless rates are in double digits. Then it kind of starts making some sense, right? Right. They're not. Most people are still at that, 2.5%, 3.5%, maybe 4%, 30-year fixed. Don't pay that off early. Put that money towards your retirement tax, right? Yeah. Time it to have it paid off when you go into retirement, but that's your calculation. So anyway, let's go back to 3.75%. If I have $1 million saved up, 3.75% of that is $37,500.
Mm-hmm.
$1 million. How many people, raise your hand if you have $1 million stacked up ready to go into retirement? Most people don't. Most people don't even have half that. Okay. So I don't know, Wendy, what would a retirement of $37,500 look like for you?
What do you mean? What would it look like? That's not enough.
No. and here's the other statement.
Especially I want to spoil my grandkids a little bit too.
Hey, Happy Meals for All. There's a toy in there, right? So here's the other thing. Where do most people put their retirement accounts? Pre-tax or post-tax?
Pre.
So what do you have to pay out of that $37,500?
Taxes. Yeah.
State and federal. If you're fortunate enough to live in a non-state income tax, you save a few bucks there, but it's a few bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not to mention that between now and the time, you, the viewer, are actually retiring, do you think taxes are going to go up or go down? Probably going to go up. So, and I smile, not because I'm trying to be a smart aleck, I guess, but it's more of, I want people to wake the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is what's going on. So you've really got to look at that traditional retirement model. They used to talk about a 3-legged stool, and all this stuff, and it's all BS. Okay. Here's why. The 3-legged stool, this was it. Number one was your pension.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nobody has anymore.
Nobody has that anymore, except the government. They took care of their own, right? All the government workers still have pensions. So you've got your pension. Military, I'm not knocking the military. Thank you for your service, right? But the rest of them, not putting themselves in harm's way, right? Don't even get me started of talking about Congress with their own special gold insurance plan, health insurance. So anyway, so let's go. You've got your pension. Doesn't exist anymore. Oh, then let's look at the other one. What's the other one? We've got Social Security.
Okay.
Anyway, enough said, right? Yeah. So Social Security is the other one. And then the last one is savings. Well, they don't teach us how to save in school in America. They teach us how to buy crap.
Yep.
right? Look how much money you spent on marketing. YOLO, baby. You can afford an easy credit, $10 a month, blah, 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 right? I fell into that whole whirlwind too. So you look at that. So, that was the three-legged stool. Well, now you've got basically what you're saving. If you're not saving enough, you're not going to have enough. And then they tell you, oh, you can only spend 3.75% of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting at home and hopefully you like ramen noodles, right? So
noodles and soap operas.
That's right. Well, NCIS is on like 5. It's in Boston. It's in New Orleans. I mean, so you got a lot of different choices there. So there's a lot of TV you can watch. So you look at that, it's like, okay, so what do I want to do? So you got to totally change your mind about building wealth for your family. First of all, stop talking about retirement. Talk about building wealth. Okay. And you've got
a whole mindset shift when you start saying it that way. It's a whole mindset shift when you start saying that instead. I need to build my wealth instead of I need to plan for retirement.
Yeah, you need to build your wealth. And you've got to look at, it's not so much the assets, just like it's not how much stuff you have today. We talked about that last week too, right? It's not how much stuff. Nobody cares about how much stuff you have. If you're driving a leased vehicle, that is not yours. Stop acting like it is, right? Stop rubbing it in your neighbor's face. If you financed your F-150, $80,000 King Lariat, and you financed it for 9 years because you can't afford the payment unless it gets under 1,000, come on, wake up. Get your priorities right. Now, I'm giving a little harsh here, but you need to get your priorities right and start stacking cash for the future self, because this is what's going on. 3.75% is your number. How can I get, okay, well, if I get to 2 million, okay, well, that's 37,500 times 2. So that's like what is that? 75,000?
75, yeah.
Yeah, 75,000. And here's the thing about that, though. That's 75,000 20 years from now. We talked about that next week. So that's going to have the buying power of about 38 grand today. We've got to wake up. We've got to change our mindset. You've got to start creating assets and start creating income streams for your retirement. Mm-hmm. And if you're thinking your 401k is going to get you there, it's not. Wake up. Okay. Start looking at how can I create multiple income streams today? Start looking at how can I create multiple income streams later? How can I pull in assets to create income streams? I need higher rates of return. I need guaranteed protection from loss. I need guaranteed tax-free access. Those are the things you need to start looking at. And they all exist today. Yeah. They all exist. You start looking at, I love the Roth. Why? The tax strategy it has. Why do you think the government lets you put so much more into a 401k or an IRA, a traditional IRA, than they do a Roth? Because they know taxes are going up and they want more of your money down the road.
Yeah, they ain't looking out for you.
No, they're not. Themselves. No, they're not. Secondly, what about how can I create assets where somebody else is going to pay them down for me? Rental properties, right? Rental properties. That shouldn't be your only egg or your only egg in that basket or basket in that egg. I don't know. Multiple eggs, don't put them all in one basket. Why? Well, look what happened during COVID. The government said these people don't have to pay you rent for 2 years, yet they still get to stay there. Okay. That could happen again. It's already been done once. And history tends to repeat itself. So have some, but don't put all of it there. And I talk to a lot of real estate people. They just real estate. That is the silliest thing you could do. Have some, don't put out. Would you put all of your stock in Facebook or all of your nest egg in Facebook stock? No, of course not. Same thing with real estate. Spread it around, right? So you've got to look at your whole mindset as number one, I'm building wealth, not focusing on retirement. I'm building wealth. Because we want it to be generational wealth too. We want your kids to be able to take advantage of this, and you teach them how to do it so they don't have to go through the same problems again. It's just like, we talk about people in poverty and stuff like that. It's a cycle, right? Because it just keeps it. It's the same way with middle class. Mm-hmm. It's the same way with middle class. You don't teach your kids, they're going to go through the same problems you did, right? Yeah. Wendy, what else you have? I'm sitting here going on a rampage.
No, I mean, I think you hit it right. And there's so many options that I know I was unaware of before, but creating that lifetime of income stream through, building up those assets. And so it's just, bottom line is to get educated, and every person's different. So it's so important to get a one-on-one conversation and to get a plan built out, and to really focus on creating, that passive income, that residual income, and finding different ways, like you said, diversifying different ways to diversify that. So, and there's a ton of options. Learn what the wealthy are doing.
Exactly. Learn what the wealth you're doing. And that's a lot of the stuff that we teach, right?
Yep.
So if you have an advisor today, I want you to ask your advisor, give them a call, give her a call and say, I just wanted to do a quick checkup. When can we get together and go over my accounts? And I want you to ask this question. What percentage can I spend each year of my account and not worry about outliving my money? And see what they say. Okay. If they come back with 3.75 or 4%, that's a flag. That's a flag. And then you do the math, right? You've got to, again, come up with those different income streams. Have businesses that can actually pay you a passive income, not an active income, because you're in retirement, right? Have those real estate investments, right? Have other accounts that exist that get much higher returns with guaranteed no loss, right? Some of those are performing at 6, 7, 8, 9% annually. Okay, look at those, right? Every individual, product is different, right? And everybody is different from your need as far as the viewers, as far as what you need for retirement. And that's where you start. You've got to understand okay, what do I want to have coming in each month? What do I want to have coming in each month? And then account for inflation. Okay. So if you're retiring in 2 years, yeah, it may work. But that same number, if you're retiring in 20 years, is not going to work because you got to look at what is the buying power going to be. Okay. Make sure you're entering retirement with your house paid off, but understand you're going to need a car, maybe 2 during your retirement years. So that car you've got paid off going into retirement, it's not going to last you 20, 25 years, right? You're going to have to buy another one. Don't buy a new one. Never buy a new car. Buy one that's new to you, a couple years old, probably still under warranty, and they've already taken depreciation hit. Do not finance depreciating assets. Hear me on that. Do not finance depreciating assets, okay? So, hopefully that gave you a general idea of where it is. And it's not really about, how much it is. That's going to be different for everyone. Okay. You've got to decide what your lifestyle is today. Do I want to continue that same lifestyle and run through your bills, subtract out your mortgage, not your mortgage payment, just your mortgage, because you'll still have taxes and insurance due, right? You'll still have HOAs due. And if you're living in a condo in Florida, those HOA fees can get pretty salty. You've got to account for all that. You want to have time to go to France and stuff like that, and you want to have the money to visit the grandkids and stuff. You've got to account for all that. Okay, that's why a budget or a spending plan is so critical, but especially in the retirement years. And then back into the number. Okay, if I'm pulling from these 3 or 4 different streams of income during my retirement years, is that going to cover it? And hopefully the question or the answer is yes. And if not, give Wendy a call, give me a call. We'll sit down and kind of walk you through that plan. Best of all, mention Black Swan Money. We'll do it for free. All right. So I don't know. That's all I've got. I want to, like I said, I got on a soapbox. I've been fired up the last little bit. I'm trying to get people to wake up because the economy is going to be, it's going to be interesting this year. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Nope. That's good. That covers it.
All right. Well, everybody have a great week. Again, Money Moves. Do us a favor. Show some love down below. Click the subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Share it on your Facebook. We'd love it. We post this on Facebook as well. So we'd love to have it shared there. Help us with those algorithms and show Mark Zuckerberg that, hey, people are joining the money revolution. That's what we're doing. We're going to start some branding on that. Middle class money revolution. There you go. So everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next week. My favorite national holiday. It's not a national holiday, but it should be. Remembering those Irish people, March 17th, wear your green, and we'll see you next week. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeah.